All right, this is James Pelton, and I'm here with Zara and AJ from AceMinersNFT, and they are repeat guests. So I'm excited to hear about how things have been going, what's new, what's gone well, what's gone poorly. We're going to talk through all those things here today. First off, welcome to you guys in the audience. What I need from you, please hit the like button. Again, YouTube looks at the algorithm, number of people watching to the number of likes the video has, and they use that to decide, hey, this is a good video. We should show lots of people. So please hit the like button. Very helpful. If you have questions or things you want to talk about, I found that Zara and AJ, they're kind of mining experts. So if you guys just want to talk about different mining things too, if you have mining questions, they will have your answers for sure. And I know we're going to talk a little bit about my mining experience, the woes, and so we'll talk through all the things here today. So for people who didn't see the last AMA, Zara and AJ, could you start out by introducing yourself and then give a little bit of your background?
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for having us, James. Just want to say we're happy to be back. A little bit about myself. So my name is Zara. I'm the founder of AceMinersNFT and AceMiners Pro. I got into mining about 3.5 years ago. Started off with just Litecoin and Dogecoin mining with the L3s, started from my apartment. And then I quickly realized that I wanted to do this long-term and full-time. So then I actually opened up a shop, an ASIC vending company, which provides access to people worldwide who want to invest in ASICs or who just want crypto mining, consulting, or just need assistance with mining in general. And I got into that and I really love it. And I'm very passionate about this industry. As you know, it takes a lot of pivoting and, the market can change, within a day or so. It's very, very unpredictable. And so I've kind of had to learn the back end of things, how to read and research the network difficulty. And so I wanted to provide mining to people who don't necessarily have the capital to purchase their own ASIC, which is where the fractionalized mining comes in with the NFTs. So with AJ's help and Sarah as well, who's not with us right now, but she's our project manager. So we were able to come up with AceMinersNFT. We did sell out the first phase, so now we're in the final phase.
And I'm AJ. I'm the IT and operations manager for AceMinersNFT and AceMiners Pro. I have a background in systems engineering. I've been in IT for the past 15 years, so it has been an easy transition for me coming to the mining industry. And also Zara and I are siblings, for those that did not know.
Oh, I did not know that. No, that's awesome. No, I did not know that. See, you learn something new every day. That's incredible.
Very true. Yeah.
I saw too your logo. It reminds me, I have an Ace Miners sweatshirt. I should be wearing it. That would have been perfect. I totally forgot. But thank you so much for sending that. So I've been enjoying it. It gets a lot of questions when I wear it. Because people are like, what is that? And then I can tell them, hey, it's a miner. They go, oh, do you mine? And then I tell them, not anymore.
Right.
So yes. Well, so can you let us know, how have things gone since we last talked? I think that was probably a couple months ago. But how did launch go, and how have things been going since you started up?
Yeah, things have been going great, actually. So we opened up the first phase. We sold out pretty quickly after our video with you, James. So we got a lot of people on board. Then we opened up the final phase of our mint. And so our total supply is 2,000. Right now, we've got about 960 NFTs left. We're also in the compounding phase right now, James, so we've got to update you on that. Basically, what we're doing is we're using this bear market to be able to take the mine profits and reinvest them into purchasing more ASICs. So therefore, it drives the value up because our cap supply is 2,000 NFTs. We're not going to be increasing that, but our value is going to increase because that profitability will increase as well with the expansion of the farm. So that's the concept behind compounding, is being able to take advantage of this bear market, because right now we can get really discounted prices on the ASICs. So we did hold a community vote on our Discord and through Snapchat as well. And the community voted to do the compounding, which is beneficial to all of our holders. So we're doing that for a total of 6 months. And then after that's completed, we're going to mine for a full month, and the rewards are going to be redeemable through our dashboard. So that's the other update we've got for you. We have a new dashboard. Shout out to HydroWhales, actually, because their development team collaborated with us, and they provided us with the back-end development of things. So shout out to them. They're a great team. You know, Sam, Adam, the entire team is very professional.
That's incredible, because some people might see you as kind of competitors with them, right? Because you kind of are doing, you know, similar things. So it's so cool. I love the HydroWhales team also, and it's just so cool that they don't see it that way. They, you know, didn't sabotage you or anything like that, but
exactly.
you know.
We don't have that competitor mindset. You know, there's plenty of abundance to go around for everyone. So we like to think that way. And that's why we've collaborated with a lot of these other mining projects, you know, Kadena Mining Club being one of them as well, and a few others. So, you know, we're very lucky to meet people that are like-minded.
Yeah, that's awesome. Rising tides raise all ships, right?
Yep, exactly.
And yep, and we're all having a hard time through the bear market, so it doesn't make sense for us to fight with each other. We got to pull together, and we can make it through this.
Exactly.
So can you remind us? I remember us talking about it last time, but what coins are you mining right now? And what would you say maybe sets you apart from like a HydroWhales or Kadena hashing or one of those other projects?
So go ahead, AJ.
Okay, so we're mining Litecoin right now. We decided to also mine Kadena. That was because we started as a Litecoin and Dogecoin mining project, but our community wanted to diversify with Kadena. So we gave them the option. We were able to secure 20 KA3s for the community, but just recently they decided to switch. We gave them another vote to go ahead and order the L7 because of the rising mining difficulty that's expected to go up with the new KA3s once they come out. Right now, the difficulty for Kadena increased by about 50% since Bitmain has been testing about 500 KA3s. It went from about 200 petahash to 300. And Bitmain is set to release at least 2,000 more KA3s during the first batch. So that's going to destroy the Kadena mining difficulty. I mean, we're still very bullish on Kadena, but to be honest with you, James, if I had $7,000 to spend on Kadena, I would rather just buy the coin than KA3.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a great point. Is people don't think about that, but sometimes it's a better investment just to buy the coin, because you're going to end up being able to purchase more. Kadena's we were talking about the cheapest it's ever been, and the difficulty's the highest it's ever been. So this might not be quite the right time. So yeah, it makes total sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah, go ahead, Zara.
Yeah, so we actually selected Litecoin for this purpose, James, just because the difficulty has only gone up about 10% since the summer. So it remains fairly stable. And I actually started with Litecoin mining as well. So even with the L3 Plus, they were still profitable during a bear in comparison to some of the Bitcoin miners like in S9. That was just basically destroyed because of that difficulty. So with the L7, it still remains pretty stable. And so I wanted to offer the community something that has longevity, such as Litecoin mining, Dogecoin mining. It's also a merge miner, so it's already diversified. And we like to advertise ourselves as a fully diversified mining project as well. There aren't too many out there. In fact, I don't know any other project that's diversified. They're mostly all into Kadena or Bitcoin. So that's what really sets us apart from other projects, I would say.
Okay, mining all the things. Yeah, I think diversification's never a bad idea for sure.
Yeah.
Can you go ahead? We had some people asking again. Some of my audience is very familiar. People are saying, "Hey, I love Ace Miners. It's a great project. I already have my NFT, etc., etc." But then we have some new people. And so, what's the minimum to get an NFT, and what's the expected return? And then, how long are you doing that compounding for? And maybe you can give some of the financial details for people that are thinking about getting.
Yeah, so it's a little hard to give an ROI in mining, as you know, James, but this is the best time to purchase an NFT or a miner. So each NFT costs $450 in ETH, and that gives you a fractionalized mining NFT. So you redeem rewards based on how much we mine, the community mines, and that's divided by 2,000 NFTs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, very cool. Yeah, and I just pulled up the new dashboard. So yeah, it does. It looks good. So this is going to say how much is mined of everything. Is that kind of what's going to be the goal here?
Yes.
It's going to display both Litecoin and Kadena. So essentially what's going to happen is the holders won't receive an airdrop as we had previously discussed. They're actually going to be able to redeem the rewards directly through the dashboard. So they'll get paid both in Litecoin and Kadena, or whatever coin we're mining. So let's say if we decide to add Bitcoin down the road, they'll get paid in Bitcoin. So we're just going to release them exactly as they're mined. So this actually makes it even better, because in case there's a pump, they'll be able to take advantage of that, as opposed to just converting it to like a USDC or something of that nature. So, and this is actually what the holders requested.
And it makes it more decentralized, so we don't have to run by a centralized exchange. So we're mining Litecoin, they get paid in Litecoin. The same thing goes for Kadena.
Perfect. No, that sounds great. And then just for people who have no idea, what type of average income can we get per month? So I know this is really hard to calculate because how much you mine is going to be different. The price of the coins is all going to be different. But maybe like ballpark, or what would people kind of expect?
So we did a calculation a few weeks ago based on getting both Kadena and Litecoin, Dogecoin. But right now we decided to mostly focus on Litecoin and Dogecoin, and the ROI would have been about 11 months.
Based on the market right now.
The mining difficulty right now.
Yeah. Okay. If we enter a bull run, then obviously that's going to be, cut in half or so. So it really depends on the market, and the difficulty as well is a big factor.
Yep, absolutely. And just so people know too, like when miners, people talk about miners, ROI is usually what they're looking for is, hey, what's the date? How long is it going to be from when I buy the miner to when I've made enough from the miner to make it worth it? Because sometimes you are trying to calculate, we were just talking about, maybe I should buy the coin instead. If ROI is going to be 5 years, then maybe I buy the coin and, not have to wait 5 years.
But with the L7, it's like you're buying the miner, but then you get to mine 2 coins, Dogecoin and Litecoin, especially with the potential of Dogecoin right now with Twitter and Elon Musk always hyping it up. So that's Dogecoin. We believe in Dogecoin. That has a lot of potential going forward.
Yep, absolutely. And who knows what he's going to do with Dogecoin. I mean, he might say Twitter now accepts Doge as payment or something like that. And then you could have a huge pump there. And I forgot to look. Audience, ask questions. I haven't been looking, but I will now. Let's see. LTC is 5 billion market cap. Kadena's 0.2 billion market cap. Kadena may have a better chance for higher appreciation. What are your thoughts on that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, go ahead, Zara.
So it does have a higher chance of appreciation. However, there's a higher risk that's associated with that as well. With Litecoin, it's been around for over a decade, so there's more stability there. Also, with Kadena, we're just concerned about the network difficulty. So a lot of my customers that got into mining and they purchased it during a bull, for instance, they bought a KD5 or a KD6 around 40,000, and a couple months later, and you've experienced it as well, James, so you're well aware. And then a couple months later, the KD Max was released, and then the profitability went down drastically. So a lot of people are concerned with that network difficulty. And so that's the same thing we're kind of taking into consideration now with the KA3. I mean, the KA3 is 166 terahash, which, Gold Shell is not going to be able to keep up with that. But we do have to see how many of these are being manufactured, because that's going to affect our profitability greatly. So we wanted to offer something that's lower risk. So Litecoin, Dogecoin, merge mining is definitely a lot lower of a risk.
And we still ordered and secured KA3s for our community. So as soon as the first batch gets released, we are going to receive some and plug them in right away. The one thing also, Litecoin has $50 billion in market cap, but it's well adopted. It's widely available. It's the second or third most widely used cryptocurrency in the world. Kadena is not there yet, even though it has the potential as the most fully scalable network blockchain proof of work network.
Yep, absolutely. Kadena has some of the coolest technology, but they have just not been marketing. Yeah. And actually, their team's coming on to my channel for an AMA, so I'm excited about that.
Very exciting, James. Yep, yeah, we've actually been curious about the team because they haven't done a lot of marketing, so that'd be great to see.
Yeah, and I'd love to introduce you too if you're interested in that. That'd be great. So, and I wanted to hear your thoughts. So yeah, this is my experience. I bought the KD5, height of the bull market. I didn't know what I was doing, but I thought mining's so cool. Where's the KD5? It's not even.
Oh gosh, it's all the way at the bottom. It's in the negatives, isn't it?
Yes. Okay. So yeah, I'm losing $1.30 a day with my KD5 that I paid 50K for. And actually, I bought two of them because I thought, you might as well. And then I bought a KD6 pre-order, and already, where did the KD6 go? I have to search. I can't find. KD6 is making me $1 a day. I paid 50K for that also. So what are your thoughts on, like, are you worried about these machines being outdated so quickly? Because like the KD6 went from 29 terahash to 166 terahash for only a tiny bit more power. What are your thoughts on like technology advancing and your miners becoming worthless? How do you think through something like that?
Yeah, you can't compare Bitmain and Goldshell. For example, Bitmain came out with the K3. They also came out with the Nervos K7, which completely destroyed the Goldshell CK6, I believe. So they're doing it the same thing. They're always making and manufacturing the most up-to-date and most profitable miners.
Yeah, so Goldshell essentially is not going to be able to keep up with Bitmain. And I think the reason why Bitmain keeps releasing all of these, higher, I guess, more potential miners, more profitable miners, is because they want to destroy Goldshell in a sense. And unfortunately, it is happening. And so, which is another reason why we decided to stick with the L7 with Litecoin and Dogecoin merge mining, is because Bitmain is the one that's manufacturing it. So, I personally wouldn't purchase any other miner that's not manufactured by Bitmain, because they're the leading manufacturer. You get quality miners, and you're looking at long-term mining as well. But yes, I am a bit concerned about the KA3, to be quite honest with you, James, which is why I did discuss it with our community. And we gave them a community vote. So we did discuss the network difficulty, the fact that it's going to rise and cut that profitability maybe in half, maybe more. But it also depends on Kadena. If that value goes up, then it'll compensate for that, increased difficulty. But again, it is a risk. So essentially, we want to remain low risk. And that's where the L7 comes in. It's still profitable even during a bear. During a bull market, we were getting about $120 to $150 a day per L7. So it still has a lot of potential as well.
And also, as you can see in that chart, James, when it was first initially introduced, the KA3 around September, it was making about $100 a day. And then as soon as those test machines went live on the network, it dropped the profitability to less than $50.
Right. And so imagine what that's going to do once the entire batch is released at the end of December or early January. That's going to affect those numbers greatly as well. So, just something to consider, because when choosing a miner, you do have to research the network difficulty. I mean, it's a huge factor. And that's what we've been doing on the back end. I mean, we'd love to invest in a miner that produces, $60 a day during a bear, but we also have to be realistic, which is why we do have to, do our research on the back end, present it to the community, and then it's up to them. And thankfully, the community was on board with us, and they really kind of just left it up to us, which we're grateful, because, we've done this before, and we've witnessed kind of like what you've went through. We've witnessed that as well. And obviously, we don't want that to be the case with our project.
Yeah, and it's from your experience, it doesn't make a lot of sense for Bitmain to make new machines that outdo their own machines, right? So they built these monsters to beat Goldshell, but they probably aren't going to do a KA4 in the next couple months, to double the hash rate on the 166. Is that kind of how you think about it too?
Yeah, absolutely, James. And that's why, let's say if the L7 was manufactured by Goldshell, then I'd be very concerned about Bitmain releasing one that's going to be, much more profitable. So I agree with that. It has a lot to do with the manufacturer, and I don't think they will release a KA4. The concern is how many units they're going to be releasing, because there will be a second batch, probably by, I think, April or May. So I'm not sure how many of those they'll be releasing, because that's going to play a role as well with the network difficulty.
But hopefully the coin value keeps going up and keeps up with the difficulty, so you can compensate for the rewards.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we're very bullish on Kadena. I think the ecosystem is great. There's nothing else out there, comparable to it. So we're very bullish on Kadena.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, again, I like to just run. If Kadena gets to the market cap of AVAX, which AVAX does not have a very big market cap right now, but that'd be a
Right.
20x on your Kadena. So, not a good idea to sell Kadena right now. I've just been
Never.
stacking it.
Yeah, it's time to accumulate, not sell.
Yep. So, two lessons I've learned is number one, don't buy non-Bitmain miners. And
Yeah.
number two, don't buy miners in the bull market. You buy them now in the bear market. This is when you want to be getting them.
Absolutely. And the other advantage to purchasing Bitmain miners is that they have a repair center within the US. Oftentimes, these miners come with a 6 or 12-month warranty, so you can just ship them off. They'll send them back within a week or so. So we've been able to do that for our customers and for our miners as well. Goldshell, unfortunately, doesn't have that advantage. You'll have to find your own repair center. Even if they do offer, 6 to 12-month warranty as well, it's just a little bit more complicated to go through them. So I personally like Bitmain for that reason as well.
Are the instructions for all the gold shell stuff was all in Chinese too, so that kind of made it a little bit more difficult
Oh, yeah.
as well.
And good
So,
luck shipping those out to China.
right. Well, yeah, it's not making negative $3 right now. Not probably worth it. Let's talk about Jana would like to know, is the project fully clear in regards to being a security? Do you want to talk about that? It's, some people think U.S. security. I just wanted to address that.
Yeah, absolutely. So what we do is we actually offer hash rate power per NFT. So essentially you're owning part of that miner. And so that's why, it's not a security, because we're not offering profit sharing. You're basically minting an NFT that gives you access to that hash rate power. And then that hash rate power then is converted into rewards. So we have a legal team that actually specializes in this. It's the same legal team that HydroWhales is using as well. And so they specialize in fractionalized mining, and we've been able to navigate that, and the hash rate power kind of protects us from, being viewed as a security.
And we're also registered in Cyprus, so it's offshore. We're not in the United States, so that we don't fall under the SEC regulations. But we're doing the hash rate, just in case. We're also adding a gamified dashboard to claim those rewards. So when you go in, you play something like the snake game, and then you get to claim those rewards before you collect them.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, just so people know the security laws in the United States. In order for it to be a security, it has to be totally passive, like you not do anything. So if you add something that has to be done, that helps it not be a security. Also, the SEC, as far as I know, hasn't come after anybody except for Ripple yet. So we'll see how that case ends up. And then some people see like, oh, they're in Cyprus. That's not as legitimate as but a lot of that is to the legislation and the regulation is lighter there. So it's not trying to scam. It's just trying to, be where the regulation's easier to do things. So.
Very crypto-friendly country. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. Mr. C would like to know, are you guys operating on the grid? Where are your locations that you'll be hosting the miners, and what kind of power do you get? Pretty cheap power where you're at and things like that?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a fully hydro-powered mining pod in Washington State. So that's where we're currently operating. So we did want to provide fully hydro-powered facility just so that we can minimize our carbon footprint. So that's really important to us. We're also in communication with a couple of different sites that we're looking at in Oklahoma and Wisconsin to be able to reduce our rates to hopefully, 7 cents, 7.5 cents per kilowatt hour. The rates are increasing, unfortunately. So we're looking to eventually relocate our pod. But at this time, we are operating out of Washington State.
Okay, Washington State. Sounds good. And for people who are just joining in, if I don't ask your question, it means we kind of already talked about it. The replay of this will be available right when we're done here. But let's remind people of what's available right now if people want to get in. So this is the minting page. So it's 0.37 Ethereum, correct?
Yes, it's 450 in ETH. So we changed it. We try to change it daily. As you know, ETH has been fluctuating a lot lately. So yeah, right now it's about 447.
Okay, so $447 to mint here. And we talked stealth. We talked about kind of the rewards rate and things like that. And it's a little bit hard to calculate because of compounding and things like that. And also, I love crossmint. I don't know why every NFT collection doesn't use crossmint. It lets you mint your NFT straight from your credit card. And I don't know why everyone doesn't use it, but not everyone does, but you should. So I love to see that there. That's awesome.
Absolutely. I agree with that, James. It's very friendly for people who aren't familiar with MetaMask because it can be kind of hard to navigate and transfer ETH to your wallet. And so it's a very useful tool.
Yeah, and it's super cool because there's people who might want to get involved with mining. And again, it's a pretty daunting task. Maybe let's talk about that. Like, what are the hurdles to mining for yourself that you guys, by using this NFT, you get to bypass all of those? And I have a list of my own, but I want to hear your list first, and then maybe I can add on from my experience.
Absolutely. So the first thing is obviously the capital. You do have to have access to capital in order to invest and purchase your own ASIC. The other important thing is electricity. A lot of people don't have access to cheap residential electricity. I mean, you're looking at 12, 13 cents per kilowatt hour. So that quickly eats away from your mine rewards. The other thing is the noise. I'd like to emphasize that because I dealt with it for years, as well as the heat production, because these ASICs produce a lot of heat. So you can't have them running, in your living room, or, a lot of my customers have them in a spare bedroom or in a basement. But obviously there's a lot that goes into it. You've got to look into electrical upgrades, ventilation. So it's just much easier to have them hosted. And essentially this is a way to earn passive rewards. So we kind of do the work on the back end. So we deal with that. But what else do you have on your list, James? I'd love to see.
I mean, you hit a whole bunch of them. Like you said, capital. I put in 150K into miners when I first got. I know 150K is not something a lot of people have just sitting around. Electricity is expensive, and you have to do. And then I wanted to move my miners, so I had to do a whole new electrical setup where I ended up moving them to.
Yeah.
The maintenance. A miner, I get a notification that, hey, one of your miners is down, and it's making me -$3 a day. I better get it fixed quickly here. The noise is really bad. The heat, like you talked about. In fact, I don't know if you have any thoughts. I found this, the first heater that mines Bitcoin. So it's a space heater that mines Bitcoin. I thought that was kind of cool.
I think that's very cool. I'd love to see a Litecoin one.
Yes, that would be very cool.
Yeah. Because with Bitcoin mining, the difficulty just continues to rise. So it's not profitable. I know a lot of people that still have their S19s just sitting on the sidelines. They're waiting for a bull market to turn them on. So, and that's the reason why we didn't offer Bitcoin mining, because when we did launch the project, Bitcoin mining was still a bit profitable. But for that reason, we wanted to offer something that's profitable during a bear market as well. So I'd love to see a Litecoin heater. We might have to come up with that, right?
Yeah, there you go. Maybe we can do like a dual vendor or something and make that happen.
Exactly.
Are you guys going to mess around with the K7? Any plans to mess around with that, with Nervos?
So I'm interested in it personally. I do think it has a lot of potential, especially with the Cardano collaboration. This would be a coin that can easily, 50 to 100x. So I think there's a lot of potential. The risk is high as well, but it might be worth looking into. And I discussed it with AJ as well. I know he's interested in it more than the KA3, it seems.
Yeah, I've been checking out the difficulty. It's been very steady for the past few months. So I'm just waiting for Bitmain to release the first batch of testing once they go live, I think next week, to be able to see what the difficulty is like. But they're definitely not as popular as the KA3, which is good for the mining difficulty.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. Less popular, the better. Although as the prices change and the difficulty goes up and down, I think a lot of people just kind of check, oh, what's profitable? Oh, okay, we better get some of those,
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
If the KA3 goes down, the K7 might take over. And I was going to say one other thing that is advantage to having someone else do this for you is just the research side of it, because like I didn't know much about mining, and so I made a lot of mistakes. Like in retrospect, I shouldn't have bought in the bull market. I shouldn't have bought gold shell. And those are things that I think you guys would have been able to help me out with if I had just done an NFT with you instead of, I could have bought a lot of NFTs for $150,000.
Absolutely. Yeah, we would have definitely advised you against gold shell and Kadena. Even then, we actually didn't purchase any KD Maxes or anything until recently for the community. Well, actually, during phase one, we did purchase 4, but we were able to sell them right before the launch of the KA3. So we did very well with that. And so we took those funds and reinvested them into the KA3s. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Never purchase a miner during a bull market. We purchased the L7s. For me personally, outside of the community, I ended up going into the L7s and just sticking with that because I was really happy with that difficulty. So I'm really happy with my decision as well.
Yeah, I just try not to think about it too much. Is how I cope with my mistake.
You live and you learn. You'll get it back in other ways too, I'm sure.
Yeah, there you go. And I am sitting on a lot of Kadena now, so if the price does go up, I'll be doing okay. Do you want to talk about the roadmap? What do you kind of see? What's coming up? What are you excited about? And where do you kind of see this going long term? Like if you look ahead, let's say, I mean, we're in crypto, so maybe 2 months is our long term roadmap, but maybe like a year or 2 years. Where do you kind of see things going?
Yeah, absolutely, James. So basically, we'd love to be able to continue with the compounding. And so right now, that's the phase that we're in for 6 months. And essentially what that does is increase the value of our NFTs, and it also increases the profitability. So we're just going to be able to take those funds, purchase more ASICs. Long term, we see us further diversifying as well. So if, let's say, Bitmain releases a Bitcoin miner that's profitable, if the difficulty is fairly stable, which I'm not sure that's going to be the case, but we'd love to include more miners and further diversify our portfolio. With the K7, that's another interesting one. So I know AJ is researching it as well. So we're just going to continue diversifying and adding miners that are profitable. And obviously, once we've done our research on the back end, long term, we are looking to hold on to those coins. And we do advise our holders to do the same. So hold on to your Litecoin, Dogecoin, and Kadena. Don't sell during a bear market. Mine the dip, which is what we recommend, and then sell during a bull. So long term, we're hoping to sell during that peak, and we're advising that to our holders as well.
Okay, very cool. And actually, I want to mint 2 of these just live here. I hope I can get it to work. Sometimes my Trezor gives me trouble when I do things live, but let's give it a shot just so people can see how this works. So I'm going to do 2. Do I want 3? I'll do 3. Okay. I'm feeling it's Sunday, a happy day.
You'll be able to recoup what you've lost in those gold shells, right, James?
Yeah, that's the goal. Yeah. Slowly but surely. So I'm going to go ahead and mint these here. And don't worry, it randomizes the Trezor password each time. So you guys didn't see it there.
Yeah, good.
And as easy as that. You also can buy with credit card. Maybe I should have demoed that because that's, people aren't as familiar with that. But as easy as that. And then, do you know when I should expect my first reward? After
you're actually a phase 1 holder, James. We sent out those phase 1 rewards for our holders back on October 19th.
Oh.
So that was, but the rewards for phase 2, they will be going out around May. So 6 months of compounding, and then in May you'll get the phase 2 rewards.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, very cool. Well, now I'm phase 1 and phase 2. So. And
this gets you into the KA3 giveaway. So we are doing a KA3 giveaway. So actually, since you are an OG holder for phase 1, so you technically have 4 spots, right, AJ? Yeah,
4 raffles for the KA3, and you also get 3 raffle for the KD Lite. So every 200 mints, we're giving out 1 KD Lite to those that minted out of the 200 NFTs.
Okay. Very cool. Exciting. Well, I hope I win. Maybe I'll unplug one of my KD5s and plug that in its place. So you're actually like sending the miner to someone?
Yeah.
You can choose that, or we can have it hosted for you.
Yeah. But since you already have the gear, electrical gear and everything, we'd be happy to send it out to you. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Well, very exciting. And it sounds like some people in the audience have had questions, and you've had people from your community answering the questions. So great community that is able to do that. When is the public mint live until? Are you going to be shutting it down at some point, or wait until selling out?
Since we're in the compounding process right now, it doesn't make sense that we cut the live mints because as the mint funds come in, we're purchasing more miners. The same thing goes for the compounding. So we're going to give it at least a few months before we close the mints.
Okay, gotcha. And yeah, it is nice in projects like this when you're not relying on Ponzi-nomics. You don't need to like really hype up a launch or anything like that. It can kind of just be, hey, when the money comes in, the money comes in. We'll buy miners as the funds come in, and there's not a rush on it. So
Exactly.
that's really nice.
Yeah.
Is the earning prorated between early and late phase 2 NFT holders?
So the earning phase 1 got it for a little cheaper, about $400. Phase 2 it's $450, but the mine rewards will be evenly distributed between both phases.
Okay, very good. And Pocket Aces would like to know, when do I get another chance to win a miner with karaoke?
Oh yeah, you did so well, Pocket Aces. You were actually going to be one of the winners. So we're going to need to hold another karaoke night. So James, what we did is we held a karaoke night on Discord, and all of our holders jumped in, the ones that wanted to participate, and then we got to vote to see which was the best singer. So Pocket Aces was I think he was in the top 5, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he's very talented.
He is
He should be on American Idol. Yeah, to be honest, he's very talented.
No way, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
we were actually very surprised because the majority of our holders that participated, I mean, they had great voices. So it was very hard for us to choose a winner. But we're going to probably hold that within the next month or so, Pocket Aces.
Oh, for sure. Let me know when that is coming. I would love to be part of that.
We'd love to have you, James.
What's the temperature like in Washington year-round just for overheating issues? You should install them in the UK where it's always cold.
Well, we'd love to see what rates you're getting in the UK. But temperature, it does get quite hot during the summer. We're actually 4 hours outside of Seattle. So it's not too unbearable. We've been able to kind of maneuver, and because of the pods, it's pretty useful to have those pods because of the right ventilation. So we haven't had any issues, but the temperatures have been dropping right now, so it really helps us out. It's mostly during the summertime. We get about 1 week in around July or August that gets pretty hot. So that's pretty much the only time we have issues.
And like Zara said, we're really pushing and actively looking to move the pod around Oklahoma or Texas, as the rates are much cheaper. But we're working hard on making that happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Oklahoma is a good spot for them as well.
Yeah, cheap power in Oklahoma.
Yeah, absolutely.
And correct me if I'm wrong. This is my understanding, but you guys are the experts, so I'm going to just say it with confidence. And then if I'm wrong, you just say, no, that's not quite right. But from my understanding, the miners get so hot that it doesn't really matter what the outside temperature is that much, because the goal is just to get heat away. Like you're 140 degrees internally, so you're just trying to get that heat out. And so whether it's 100 degrees outside or 80 degrees outside, it doesn't really affect that much. The goal is just get the heat, the 150 degree heat away from the miners. Is that correct?
Absolutely. That is correct. That's why they're positioned a certain way in a pod, which allows that heat to be exited a certain way. So exactly like you said, I mean, it's really important to have that heat, escape in the right direction versus, in front of the other miners. And obviously that'll increase the heat. So yes, you're absolutely correct, because you don't want that to happen. It can easily damage the chips, which is why I like to use pods as opposed to, a warehouse, because with the pod, you have the built-in ventilation. So they're specifically made for this.
Yeah, it's a bunch of exhaust fans built in within the pod that pull the hot air out and push it out the pod.
Okay, very cool. I'll have to send you a picture of my jankety setup I have in my garage. So I had them in my house for a long time, but then it was making my house very hot. So I had to move them out to the garage.
Oh, wow.
Mr. C would like to know, how is the team earning? Not sure if you covered that already.
So the team gets 10% of the mining rewards. So everything goes back to electricity. We pay the electric. The rest goes to mining rewards, and 10% goes to the team.
Yeah, and that also includes like legal fees and things like that as well.
Gotcha. No, go ahead, AJ.
Yeah, and there's we had a percentage. So right now it's a flat fee based on the electric that we get charged. That's what we charge our holders. Then we get a 10% team fee, and we have a 5% emergency maintenance fee in case something happens and we need to repair the hash boards on different miners that we have.
Gotcha. And Ian says JP and Pocket should release an album, a side hustle. There you go. Yeah, a good passive income source.
That
For
would be
sure.
awesome.
Is it possible to use the same hydro facility as HydroWhales? There's an interesting suggestion.
Yeah, that is actually interesting. I think HydroWhales, if I'm not mistaken, they're using Compute North. I may be wrong though, but Compute North is now being owned by somebody else. But I'd have to look into it. We'd certainly be interested. I know they're getting really good rates in Texas, and I believe they are in Texas. So I'd have to reach out to Sam and Adam to find out. But we'd certainly be open to that.
Very cool. Tony Fritz says most profitable ASIC miners don't ROI for 250 to 350 days. What's the expected ROI for the NFTs? And AJ, I remember you talking about 11 months. Is that kind of the number?
That's based on this bear right now. On the projected hash rate that we're going to dedicate the NFTs is about 11 months, but it can easily be 4. So if you hold on, if you mine the dip, mine right now, accumulate as much coins as you can, and then sell them in a bull market, the ROI can get cut to about 4 or 5 months, depending on how high Litecoin or Dogecoin go.
Gotcha. So a lot of it's just the timing of the bull market. And then will you kind of help your community direct them like, hey, now is the time, like Litecoin's kind of at a good price right now. We're selling. Are you going to kind of help people with that decision?
Absolutely, yes. A lot of our community are not really familiar with mining or crypto, so we'd love to be able to guide them. Obviously, they make their own choices and decisions, but we'd love to be able to provide that assistance. And we've been doing that, which is why we've had to pivot in this market about, the KA3 pre-orders versus ordering L7s now. And so they're very receptive to our recommendations.
Okay, very cool. Ian says, I can't remember the last time we had such a high quality, clear set of responses to our questions. So nice job on that. That's
I
awesome.
appreciate that, Ian. Thank you.
Love it. Awesome. Well, hey, I think that covers pretty much everything, all the questions that I had. I wanted to add, what is your guys' opinion? Now, so when I have the experts on, I like to just get everything out of my head. But what are your thoughts on GPU mining? Is that done or done and gone?
In my opinion, that's done. I've seen a lot of customers come to the ASIC side of things just because they've had to let go of GPUs. I personally don't see it as being profitable. And I mean, I started with ASIC mining, so I never mined, Ethereum. And actually, I was introduced to it through the A11, the ETH miner, but I was like, I'm not going to invest in this because obviously it's going to be very short-lived. So I'm more on the ASIC side of things. I personally wouldn't invest in graphic cards or anything like that. But a lot of people are coming to the ASIC side of things because they figured it's just not profitable with Ravencoin. Whatever else is left to mine. What do you think, AJ?
Yeah, same thing. Some people are bullish on Ravencoin or Flux. It's not profitable to mine at this point with GPUs, but they're holding on to their GPUs until a bull market and decide to mine it then.
Yeah, that's true. Or selling the graphic cards during a bull as well, because
yes.
Right now, yeah.
Yep, absolutely. And it might be a good play if you have a GPU for something else. Like if you're a huge gamer and you already have you're not going to just use it for mining. But yeah, I think the days of buying a graphics card to mine are not here right now.
I agree with that, James.
And then will this be mining only, or are you going to do any other real play? Are you anything else that you're thinking of branching out into? HydroWhales has kind of started to go around into other plays.
Yeah,
what are you guys thoughts on that?
That's an interesting question. We do have a couple of ideas. Obviously, we have to consult our legal team just because of the security aspect, so we have to consult with them first.
And also we're mining experts. We have AceMiners Pro, so we're a reseller. So we're dedicated into mining. That's what we know, and that's what we want to give our holders. I mean, if there's something down the line that we want to diversify in, sure, but I don't see it happening as of now. I see it's fully mining project. We stick to what we know.
Yeah. And there's a lot of wisdom in that. Rather than trying to go out and learn a whole new space, it's just like, hey, we're going to know the most. We're going to be the best Litecoin mining project that there is. And I think that's good. Mr. C says it's good to see more women in the space. Hope it keeps increasing. I don't know. What's been your experience, Zara? Have you been seeing more women come to the space, or is it still kind of mostly guys?
Yeah, it's a male-dominated industry, James. And unfortunately, it's I mean, I'd love to see more women, and I appreciate, people who kind of point that out, because I've gotten to see two sides of things. I've gotten to see men who are very encouraging and want to have more women in this space, and I've gotten to see condescending men, who are just like, hey, you don't know anything about mining or crypto. So, I've gotten to experience both worlds, but I'd love to bring more women into it, which is why I do advertise it as a women-founded project. And I know a couple of women, for instance, Sarah, who's the project manager, she's heavily involved. But I don't know too many other women out there, so I'd love to get them in. Maybe your wife can participate, James. You can get her into it.
I don't think so. She's well, I started my YouTube channel because she was tired of me talking about crypto. So I don't know that I can't say that she's a huge fan of my miners. So maybe not this. But
and our moderator on Discord is a woman too. So
yeah, she's one of our admin mods. Yeah, so shout out to Ali as well. So we do have a lot of women within our space as well, our community. So that's always great to see.
Yes, absolutely. And Jigyo would like to know, Kadena Hashing's buying Kadena with its treasury. Do you plan to buy coins with the treasury surplus, or are you sticking to miners alone?
Yeah, we're sticking to miners for now.
Miners, yeah. So we're not going to purchase the coins directly. We're just going to purchase the miners and take advantage of this bear market, because they're a lot lower in price. Once those coins start to pump, then these miners are going to go up, 50 to 60%, depending on the market value of the coin. So we're just going to stick to mining.
Okay. And I kind of like that you're just sticking, like it's more simple rather than like, oh, we're also doing all these other things. And then people are like, well, I don't know if I want to sit on Kadena coins right now, so I think that's great.
Absolutely. We like to say that we are low risk mining projects. So yeah.
Awesome. Ian says, Zara will melt the glass ceiling with all the heat from the miners. Zara and AJ, massive well done for this. I'm excited.
Thank you so much, Ian. We really appreciate you. Jump on our Discord. If you haven't already done so, we'd love to see you on there.
Yes, absolutely. Let me get a link for the Discord just so people don't have to go searching for it.
Yeah, it's discord.gg/AceMinersNFT.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so go join in the Discord. It sounds like there's a lot of fun in there. Next karaoke, I'll hopefully be there. I want to write a song about mining, about my pains and my joys, and that's my goal. I'm going to write a song, and then maybe I play piano too, so maybe I'll do it.
Oh, great. Yeah, so we got to have you on there, James. We can't have it without you.
That would be awesome. Well, do you guys feel like, that's all the questions I have. Do you feel like we touched on everything and kind of got through everything you guys wanted to get across?
I think there was one question on our Discord by Never Dull Nick. He was asking about the legendaries and one-to-one NFTs in our collection. We do have 3, and all of them are in phase 2. They're one-to-one legendary, 1 gold, 1 bronze, and 1 silver. But the hash rate is still the same as any other NFT. It's just it looks 1-to-1. It's legendary. It's rare, but it still accumulates the same mine rewards as all the other NFTs.
Okay. Do all that reminds me. So for rarities on the NFTs, you said do they all give the same return?
Yes, it's the same thing.
Okay. All right. So there's not some that get a huge advantage or anything like that.
No. Yeah.
No,
awesome.
They're equally divided between all the holders.
Okay, great. Well, I'm going to end with some call to actions for people. So number 1, and I start with the free ones. So there's no reason to not do these unless you're just a mean person. The first is hit the like button. Okay, no reason to not do that. It's free. It's right there. Number 2 is hop in their Discord. Even if you're not going to be a purchaser, or if you have more questions, hop in the Discord and just check it out. See if it's a community that you want to be a part of. And then number 3, this one does cost money, so it's a little bit more of a commitment, but the minting page is live. It looks like there's about, it says 961 left. I never know if that's how many have been. Okay.
Yeah. How many remaining? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. 961 left. I'll post a link to that. You can mint with Ethereum, or you can mint with, it's $450 in Ethereum, or you can buy with your credit card. You can mint up to 57 NFTs per transaction. So, just keep that limit in mind there if you're thinking about going that direction.
If anyone wants to mint more, we can open it up.
Okay, you can do an OTC deal. If you want 58 NFTs, contact AJ for OTC and we'll get something figured out.
Yep.
So, well, I want to thank the audience. Thank you guys for hopping on. Thank you for your great questions. Thank you for all your support. I say it every AMA, but Zara and AJ, there's no way that they would want to come talk with me. Well, I mean, we have a good time, but it's the audience that they're wanting. So I appreciate you guys just supporting me and supporting Zara and AJ. And Zara and AJ, thank you guys for coming back on. I love having repeat people because a lot of times I hear about the beginning of a project, but then I never, how's it going? And so it's great to just kind of catch up. So thank you guys for hopping on.
Yeah, thank you so much. And thank you to the audience. And I just want to say, James, your audience is great. I've gotten to, meet a lot of people from the previous time we came on, and it really reflects your personality. We attract who we are. So I feel like your audience reflects that very well because you're very kind as well. So thank you for having us on. We'd love to be back as well once we have more updates. But thank you so much to everyone.
Awesome. Yeah, it'd be great. Maybe like a monthly, we could do like a monthly miner meetup. Hey, there we go.
That would be great.
And then we can talk about the K7, the K3, all type of miners.
Yeah, every time we talk, though, it does bring up a little bit of pain about maybe I'll get over that here soon and just learn, if you make mistakes, as long as you learned from them, it wasn't a waste.
Absolutely. So. Yeah, never a waste. That's great.
Awesome. Well, hey, I hope everybody has a great rest of the day. Hope the markets go up. Hope Kadena goes up. And yeah, reach out. I'm always available if you guys want tweets out or just little announcements. Like I can do a YouTube short or whatever you guys need. So just let me know how I can help bring people to you. I like connecting good projects with good people. So let me know how I can help.
Thanks,
I appreciate that. Thank you so much, James. It means a lot to us.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody, and hope everybody has a great rest of their day. Thanks.